I'm going to tell you the 10 signs to spotting a toxic person. What's up guys, Matty B here and welcome to No Going Back. Today we're talking about toxic people. Now what is a toxic person? When I use the term toxic person, I'm categorizing anyone who makes you feel worse off or drained every time you spend time with them. This could be friends, partners, family members, work colleagues, people in leadership roles, anyone. Toxic people are everywhere, flying under the radar but leaving a trail of psychological damage wherever they go. They're both Jekyll and Hyde. They seem to have two personas. One might be sweet, caring, and supportive, and that's what the public see. That's what everyone else sees. But behind closed doors, they're the total opposite. They'll bully you, they'll belittle you, they'll make you feel worse about who you are as a person. They'll try to break down those characteristics about you that you love. They don't listen. Every time you try to discuss issues that are bothering you or things that are upsetting you, rather than acknowledging it, instead they try and make you feel crazy or like you're overreacting. You end up feeling unheard and confused. Their problems are the only ones that matter. Every time you bring up an issue that you want to discuss, they immediately draw the conversation back to them and their issues. The same goes for stories. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you've told a story, but someone else will have a bigger and better story where they're always much better than you are? This is the calling card of a toxic person. They love to gossip. These are the people that will insert themselves into any conversation that sounds like gossip. You know, the kind of person that will just insert themselves into a conversation and say, "What did you say?" Even when the conversation had nothing to do with them. These people get a massive thrill hearing the drama of other people and spreading rumors. They need to be the ones that know everything that's going on. They need to have a common enemy. These people bond by banding together with others against one common enemy or scapegoat to distract from their own issues. They're unable to celebrate other people's success. When other people succeed, the toxic person feels incredibly inadequate. They need to minimize their success in order to feel better about themselves. Let's say you work really hard and get some recognition on a project you've been working on. Instead of acknowledging what a great job you did, the toxic person will point out what you did wrong, what could have been better, why it wasn't as good as it could have been. It's the tall poppy syndrome. It's much easier to tear you down to make themselves feel better than for them to work on themselves and build themselves up. They have double standards. This is the perfect example where one rule will apply for them and one rule will apply for everyone else. These are the kinds of people that will get into massive road rage when they're cut off in traffic, yet have no issue cutting off multiple people on their way to work. They ruin special occasions or make them about themselves. When the spotlight is taken away from these people, they feel very insecure and will often ruin birthdays and holidays that aren't focused solely on them. Maybe you have a family member who gets a bit moody around holidays and birthdays unless it's their own. They have to make someone else's birthday about them to bring the attention and focus back on them. They are unable to take any kind of criticism. In the mind of the toxic person, they are perfect. They don't need to change. It's the people around them and the rest of the world that needs to do the changing. These are the kinds of people that take any form of constructive criticism as a personal attack on them, but then have no issues dishing out criticism to other people. Remember when receiving criticism from someone, especially a toxic person, to ask yourself a couple of questions. Is there any truth to this criticism? And if so, what can I learn? And does this person have my best interests at heart? They never apologize. When confronted with clear evidence of things they've done and wrongdoings they're responsible for, these people will argue to their last breath why they were justified in their actions, many times rewriting the past or twisting the truth, often arguing in such a way that the original issues you brought up are no longer the focus, and you're now being blamed for something else entirely. And oftentimes, you end up apologizing for that. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself 3 simple questions for any relationship that feels toxic. 1, how do I feel after I interact with this person? Do I feel happy, positive, uplifted, hopeful? Or do I feel drained, exhausted, sad, depressed, down on myself? Number 2, if this person were not in my life, what would I lose? Would I be losing judgment? Would I be losing anxiety every time I was near this person? Would I be losing the fear that I'm always doing something wrong? Number 3, if this person were not in my life, what would I gain? Would you gain the freedom to make mistakes? Would you gain creativity? Would you gain non-judgment? Would you now be allowed to feel better in your own skin and be true to yourself? Remember, you are not obliged to stay in any relationship that makes you doubt yourself, lose hope, or feel unheard. Your life is your own, and you owe it to yourself to live it to the fullest. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, I'm Matty B, and be kind to one another.